My name is Sarah Springer. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I would say I'm somewhat of a hybrid. I started my career in news and documentary, and now I'm an independent field producer, consulting producer, and development producer. I would say I found my voice in my career actually before I even knew that I wanted to be a storyteller. While living in Bakersfield, California, as a junior in high school, I was required to take a journalism class, and I was reluctant at first. But when I was kind of forced into writing a story, I decided to write it about the racism on campus. And as soon as I did that, a lot of things changed on campus. Policy was actually being implemented to talk more about race. And from there I was hooked. It was the moment that I found that change could actually happen through storytelling. One piece that I am particularly proud of is actually a Nike piece that I did with Step Studios with director Jasmine Garcia. It was an incredible story about a young girl named Dalia Hurtado from East Los Angeles. She is a senior in high school. She is on her high school football team. She is a super athlete. She is all of the things. And her powerful story was one that I will never forget. But what I really took away from being able to work on that piece was the importance of having those who were a part of the crew, those who were helping to tell the story, to be from the community of those we were covering. It is so important that we understand our role as storytellers, that we're not here to tell the story for someone else, but rather we are here to provide the space for others to tell their own, because everyone can tell their own story. A project that I absolutely love is a project by one of my dear friends, Sophia Nali Allison. It's called A Love Song for Latasha, and it is one of the most beautiful, most poetic pieces. It's literally a love song for Latasha Harlins, whose death was essentially a catalyst for the '92 LA riots. The way that Sophia brings the humanity back to a young woman, to Latasha, who in many ways was a headline and nothing else, is just, it's absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of it. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I refer everyone to watch it. It's on Netflix now, so go watch it. It's so good. And it's not just the piece itself that's so remarkable. It's also Sophia's approach, her intentionality, her integrity. She never lost that in telling this very important story. It's in fact, always a dream to be able to strip away the tropes and the stereotypes and all the things that are usually placed on us, especially Black women, Black trans women, about who we are, and especially when we're not here to tell it. We're not here to tell the story. So it was just so beautiful to be able to see a Black woman telling another young Black girl's story in such a beautiful way to restore everything that was lost in the headlines, for so many years before. So very proud of that work and so proud of Sophia. I feel a huge responsibility as a journalist, a documentary filmmaker, as a writer, as a teacher, as a consultant, to speak about what is happening today, what was happening yesterday, what was happening a year ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. It is absolutely vital to use our skill set, to use our platforms, to use our voices, to stand strong in what is going on in our world. Because we know that cycles continue, right? We know that we can fall into these traps where we don't remember, we don't speak up, we're too afraid, we're protecting a system that has never ever been established for us. And then where does that leave us? So I know, for me in this lifetime, as difficult as it can be sometimes, I know that responsibility, and I take it very, very seriously, because otherwise, why do it? Why be here if we are not fighting for what we know to be right, if we are not fighting for equity, if we are not fighting for us to be able to use our imaginations to create something new? What's the point? I made a commitment pretty early on in my career to do the best that I can to stand by what I know to be right. Even when establishing my organization, Advocates for Inclusion in Media, that was really, really important, not to create yet another Facebook group or another IG page or another whatever, but to create community and to really, really, take responsibility for the privileges that I had been given in this space to create safe spaces for others. It's absolutely vital, and something that I will not stop until we see justice. 2020 has been a really, really tough year. I think I can admit that, and I think for many of us it's been an interesting one. But it's also opened up a lot of really incredible opportunities for me and others to collaborate on projects that I think can really push things forward. I am currently collaborating with an incredible friend on a book and a podcast, and also really diving a little bit more into the creative writing, and also combining the journalism, the investigative journalism, with the scripted. So with the fictional writing, which I think is really, really cool. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, there's so much going on, and there's so many things that have really forced a lot of introspection and a lot of reflection that I think is necessary in our growth as creatives and as storytellers. And so, I've learned a lot this year, and I am absolutely looking forward to the next.